It's Podcast Thursday. Hey, Christy.
Kelly! Podcast Thursday is my
Welcome.
favorite.
It's the best day.
It is the best day.
Welcome to Vertically Unstable, the podcast where we're just trying to keep it together long enough to hit stop record.
Well, as usual, my life took an interesting turn this morning when I found out that my son didn't have school. So I've got a kindergartner downstairs on his iPad. Hopefully that will keep him entertained for long enough for us to get this recording done. But don't judge me because I haven't showered and I'm in my nephew's football sweatshirt.
Well, the good news is it's audio.
Right?
I can't smell ya.
It is audio. Kelly, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about all those adult responsibilities you could not wait to have as a kid.
Those make me question my life on a daily basis, Kelly.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about adult responsibilities.
I know.
No, I question myself.
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. I mean, some days I get a 1 or a 2.
Ow.
Like I was looking at this week. We were kind of chatting about what this podcast would be about. And I'm like, how many adult fails have I had this week?
And it's Thursday, so it's a good chunk of time into the week. How many are we at?
Oh gosh. There's so many. Colton was late to baseball practice yesterday. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I totally my debit card got hacked or whatever, and so I've had to go through and change. That's the worst thing that happens. Like I had to go.
It's so bad.
It's so
Or
and then I'm like,
you lose your wallet. You lose your wallet.
I've only done that one time, but the being hacked, I mean, someone was spending money in like Indonesia and they're like, is this you? I'm like, no, it's clearly not me. I was in Chicago.
Any idea how that happened?
I don't have time to look into that. So they sent me a new, no, I mean,
You're like,
I'd
no.
love to go sleuthing, but I don't have time. No, it's just got time for that shit. So I get a new card and now I'm like, why do I have all these subscriptions? I'm getting pinged left and right because everything's on auto pay. And I'm like, okay, I need to reevaluate my financial choice.
I hate that when they're like, I'm just going to change banks, no problem. And you're like, well, shit, I have to move all of my auto pays. I don't want to. Actually, that's a business model. I'm sure the banks, their actuaries have probably figured out the likelihood of losing a customer once so many auto pays are set up is probably so small. And that's why they send you so many. Save $5 a month if you set up auto pay. And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. You know, I won't ever remember how to log in and I'll never leave you because I can't remember a fucking thing. If I lose my phone and my Face ID, I'm screwed on so many levels.
So, you know, okay, here's a good adulting fail.
Okay.
This week, I was trying to get into my phone, and apparently I didn't look like myself enough. It didn't recognize me. It's
I needed to go on a diet? What's happening?
Or maybe, Kelly, I lost too much weight that it didn't recognize me. If we want to go positive, why do you always take it negative with me? So mean to me.
3 minutes in and so sorry.
And you're
I meant to say, maybe you look so fucking hot that day. Your phone was like, who's this supermodel trying to log into Christy's phone?
Probably. I'm sure that's what it was. It wasn't that I spent, all weekend outside at a soccer tournament and I was windblown and my face was super swollen and red. Surely it wasn't that I was super hot.
Couldn't possibly have been.
Listen, by Sunday night, I looked like a tomato.
Oh, no. That's an adulting fail on all of our accounts where you know better. You should wear sunscreen. And I live in California. I should wear sunscreen every morning. And then I'm like, and you get burnt and you're like, well, that was my fault.
Well, it was freezing ass cold. I mean, like, it was so cold and rainy, and, like, I felt so bad for our girls. They got second, by the way.
Woo-woo.
Well, of course, Presley was not impressed with second place.
No,
she's like, stop talking, Mom.
Yeah,
second is the first loser.
First loser, yeah. We've talked about that. I'd rather win third than lose the fucking gold, but go on.
Apparently, you and Presley have the same idea there, but it was, I mean... I don't know that I was sunburned. I was windburnt. Like I was like, my skin was like 2 middle fingers up, swollen. You better start taking some Benadryl. So anyways, my phone didn't recognize me. It was really, it was the low point of my week so far.
I love it when your phone does that. And I realized like my RBF was too strong where I was like, woo, I'm have it pop a little smile on. And then my phone's like, oh, there you are, Kelly. Hi, good morning. Some days you're like, ooh, I must look bad. I feel for my husband who has to be looking at that. Even my phone doesn't want to know who I am.
I'm so glad I don't have an RBF face. Like I don't, and I mean, if I look like a bitch, I mean to look like a bitch. It is
Yeah,
intentional,
it's a on
and you
purpose
are
RBF.
yeah, someone once told me, they're like, you don't hide your facial feelings very well." I'm like, "Oh, I do. If I look like I'm pissed, that's
Yeah,
intentional."
it's intentional. Yeah, 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 yeah. I That's my same line, right? When I was crying in a serious meeting and was handed Kleenex, and I was like, "Do not mistake these tears for sadness." That's all I said because
Rage.
these are fucking murder tears. Anyways,
Speaking of murder tears, let's get back to all the
to
things we
adult
wanted.
responsibilities that you thought would be so cool, and then now you realize they suck.
Yeah, here's one. Owning a
Yeah,
fucking house.
I know.
I was
Honestly,
like, "I'm gonna decorate it, it's gonna be an oasis, and I
nobody can
love
tell me
it."
what to do. I get to do everything that I want. And also, guess what? You get to pay for it all and have to maintain it all.
This mortgage payment is so reasonable. I'm gonna save so much money.
Oh my God. Let's not go into mortgage payments when you go upside down on a house.
I haven't done that, but
I haven't either, but I definitely post COVID know people who haven't, even just my own house. We had a variable rate mortgage. Canada, US finance is very different. You can't refi like you can in the US. So you're kind of stuck in. You're kind of stuck in, which is probably good because I know that the US went upside down there back in the '09. Anyways,
anyways.
the my mortgage interest rate went from 2.5 to 7.7.
Shit.
Yeah, and I mean, fortunately, we're in a place where we could still cover that, but there are a lot of people who couldn't, right? And I feel for people. But when you're
Ugh.
buying the house, the point of adulting is you learn about, like, I remember my son saying when he graduated from high school, he's like, I really wish they taught us that shit in school. Like, tell me real practical stuff.
Yeah, like, okay, so I'm gonna save money. This is an investment, like all the things you tell yourself when you're buying a
Yeah.
house. And then you
Yeah.
come home from Paris and half your fence has been blown over by the Kansas wind and it
Yes,
costs you
Dorothy.
800 bucks and
Yes.
one of your toilets isn't working. So you call the plumber and it turns out, hey, not only do you have a toilet issue, also your water valve to your house has
Yeah.
eroded past the, like past the point of any kind of safety. And now it's
Yeah.
going to take you getting the city out there at the same time as the plumber to
And
fix this.
you know the minute that it's, like, at that decision point of whose responsibility is it the city's or mine? You know you're 2 inches into your territory, and it's all gonna land on you. It's never the city. It's always the homeowner. You get fucked there every time. I love renos, but you know the minute you pick one thing open, there's something behind a wall that you didn't anticipate, and it's like, "Oh, I just wanted to change out the light switches," and now you're doing a whole bathroom reno.
So when you're like, oh, there's a crack in that wall, I should probably have my foundation looked at. And you're like, surely it can't be that much.
Mm.
$1,000 later, you're like, okay, that was not factored into my freaking mortgage payment. I'm like,
No,
and I guess in responsible adults would save money for
ahead.
random shit to happen to your house. Apparently, I am not a responsible adult. I'm an optimist. I'm like,
I'm
I'm like,
with you.
I invest money, which right now I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
You're like, "This was supposed to be my grown-up decision." I'll tell you my most epic adult homeowner fail. God. We needed new windows in the house, and to your point about the foundation, there are some things, roofing tiles, windows, foundation, you don't really see it, but fuck, are they expensive, right? And
Yes.
you know you got to do them. So we got new windows. And I was so proud of myself because I used my bonus from work. I was able to manage to have some pre-taxed dollars, and so I put it into the house and bought all new windows for the whole house. It was $30,000, whatever it was. I was so proud of myself. You come around to tax season the next year, and my accountant was like, "Oh, Kelly, did you put away the tax money for that pre-tax money that you took out for windows?" And I'm like, "No, because I used it for windows." "Kelly, that was pre-tax money. You're going to need to pay tax on it now." But I'm like, "But I put it all in the windows." He's like, "Now we're going to have to find, like, it was a 5-digit number of It's like I was like, "But I did a grown-up thing. I put new windows in my house like a big girl, and now
Isn't
I'm
there?
getting fucked by
So
tax."
this happened. This is one of my biggest adulting fails, and this goes back to being very honest to a flaw. When I first got my first job in advertising, right? They paid me nothing because that's what they
Mm,
do.
yeah.
They pay you nothing because apparently everyone wants to work in advertising. I'm like, who wants to work 60 hours a week and make nothing? Or 70 or 80? Apparently a lot of people do. We're masochists, whatever. Anywho, so to support myself, I also had a second job waiting tables and bartending I did it one night a week,
Yeah.
actually 2 nights a week sometimes, and then on the weekends. So I was busting my ass and I'm like patting myself on the back. I'm buying furniture. I'm taking care of business. I've got a grown up apartment. So tax season comes around and I'm super pumped to do my damn taxes. So I'm like, I get a refund,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm gonna get a
Sure.
refund.
So I'm at work to my old people that I work. I did do my taxes at work on a work computer. Because I didn't have a computer at home. Like who
Wait,
could afford that?
are you not supposed to do that?
I don't know. This is 20 some years ago. Okay, not to share my
I
age, but I'm old. So not old. I'm in my
I'm older
prime.
than you.
You are, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's always going to be okay. So, anyways,
Wait,
I go.
who's hurting whose feelings now? Go
Well,
on,
you know what? I owe you
youngin.
about 700.
Okay,
So
we're
I
not
go to do
even.
my taxes, and I input all my information into I think it was H&R Block, and it comes back with that I owed $1,500. At the time, I think I was making 28,000 a year. So that's a lot of money.
Lot of
A
money.
lot. I mean, still a lot of money. I'd still be pissed
Um,
right now.
yeah.
But what I had done was like an idiot. So in the States, Kelly, I don't know if you've ever waited tables in the States, but you make like $2 an hour and then you make tips, right?
Yes.
And so what I was doing was at the end of every shift, you record your tips, and that goes into your like
Mhm.
the IRS and your
Taxable income.
yeah,
Yep.
I know. I didn't know. These are things I didn't think
Yeah,
about, right?
yeah,
I was
you're
just
like,
being
"Oh, I'm supposed
honest.
to set to the side of the."
Well, in college, I worked enough shifts that I would have low shifts and high shifts. But because I was only working the highest paid tipping shifts, my $2 an hour didn't cover the taxes I owed on my tips.
Tips, yeah. So,
That I cried
I'm
at
not
work.
I'm not advocating for cheating on your taxes, but
I'm
that's
not
what people are
either.
like, "I made $0 in tips." Speaking of money nightmares.
But hold on though. When I
Oh, yeah?
told my friends at the restaurant, everyone looked at me and like, "You have a degree in business, you dumb ass." And I'm like,
You
"I just was doing what I thought was
yeah.
the right thing to do."
I was just being honest, forgot about it. Speaking of money nightmares, remember when, as a kid, you thought credit card was, like, unlimited money? It wasn't even real money. You're like, "Woohoo!" And then the bill comes in, you're like, "The fuck?" And do you have any of the credit cards that if you have a balance, it'll tell you at minimum payments, it will take you 34 years to pay this off? Oh my god. What's your deepest credit card regret story, like, in your early days of, "I have a credit card, yay."
You
Was there
know,
any?
I was very afraid of credit cards.
Mm.
I paid mine off every month. Like that was the one thing I was very afraid to get into credit card debt because I was already paying student loans, which is another thing. You're like, I'm making money. I got a real job. And then it's like, and you owe
Also
Kansas State University a
yeah,
lot of money. But when
yeah.
you were saying that, I was thinking of, do you watch Schitt's Creek? Have you ever watched it?
Excuse me. Schitt's Creek is a Canadian series that is globally known as the epicenter of Do I watch Schitt's
Okay.
Creek?
So
Go on.
do you
I
remember
literally dressed up as Moira Rose for Halloween
that's
this
right,
year.
you did.
Okay, but go
That was
on.
great, a great costume. So, there's this part
What
where
did Alexa do?
no, it was the son.
Oh, David.
It was
David.
it was David. David had, like, in their crappy little hotel room, he had refurnished the whole thing, and the dad comes in, and he's like, "Where'd you get the money for all this?" And he's like, "It's a write-off."
Oh, yes, I do remember
And
this. And the
he's
whole
like
conversation.
he's like
You know what a write-off is?
he's like, "Well, that's a write-off. That's a write-off." And his dad, "Do you know what a write-off is?"
Yeah,
And he's like,
exactly.
"Yeah, it's when the government gives you money for
Yeah,
stuff
write it off.
and you just write it off." And he's like, "Well, who pays for the write-offs, David?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's just written off."
I wish.
Sometimes
I
when it
wish. Over anticipated a reimbursement once upon a time. Speaking of credit card horrors, I was newly divorced and living on my own. And so have an apartment, I have a kid in daycare, all the things. And I got injured in a volleyball game. I tore my ACL, but I
Oh,
was
that's right.
wearing, this was post surgery, number one for ACL. And I was wearing a knee brace that had a guarantee that you would not re rupture your ACL wearing the brace. A guarantee. A
Was that
15.
approved by legal? And also, how big was the legal copy underneath
Yeah,
that knee?
exactly. I missed one minor detail. So it was $1,500. And I was like so remorseful that I tore my ACL and again, and I knew what I was going to be in for rehabbing and resurgerying and all that shit. But I knew that I was going to be able to make this claim and have $1,500 back. So I proactively spent $1,500 on my credit card on new leather pants and a leather jacket. Whatever. It was 2002. Give me a break. So the small
Your
fine
single
print
mom story right now
single mom,
ain't
but I
working.
mean, I'm gonna
I
wear a
don't
full
feel
leather
sorry for
outfit
you,
and I'm gonna lure these men in. The
Kelly.
small fine print I missed was that it was applicable only in the United States of America. I did
Yeah,
not
it
live.
was.
Yeah, I did. I did not live in the US. So, motherfucker, now I have a torn ACL. Thankfully, I lived in Canada. Oh, there's the bubbles. I lived in Canada, so the healthcare at least was covered. But I was 1,500 in the hole with a torn ACL, but I had a sweet leather outfit.
But so the question is, did you regret it? Because I've done silly credit card things. I'll tell you the story. But
Mm.
did you regret that purchase?
I know. I just regretted the exuberance with which I made it. I could have
Fine.
thought it through.
When I was, oh gosh, was I 30 yet? No, I think I was like 28. I had a client of mine, and I didn't even know her very well, who said, "Christy, do you want to go to Italy and do this like tour that was, you had to be, it was 18 to 35-year-olds. So it wasn't like a, so like, first of all, that's
That's an
a
interesting tour range of
totally,
ages.
it is. It's what it's called, the fun havers. Okay.
Okay, so it was a singles
Anywho,
tour. It's a party bus tour. Go on.
well, I think there was one couple on there. I think they broke up by the end, but anywho, it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
You get into enough discotheques. So my friend, who I literally had met like twice, I don't know why people are like, "Hey, come travel with me. I've met you twice, but you seem like you'd be." I think I seem like I'm going to be a good time. Anywho, so I booked a trip to Italy, and I did it right, sis. I spent $10,000 in 1 week.
Oh my god.
1 week.
On stuff or experiences?
Is
Okay.
and a little bit of
Okay.
stuff. I am not a stuff person. Like, yes, I like my nice stuff here and there, but like I will, my daughter's like, "Mom, when you get rich," I'm like, "First of all, who says I'm getting rich? And also, let's talk about why you're worried. Like, why are you
Yeah,
talking about
exactly.
money?
Why are
There's a
you
whole lot of
planning?
things to unpack here." She's like, "Are we gonna get like a bigger house?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, what would we do?" I was like, "We take more trips because
Yeah.
like that's experience is my love language." Like, I'm like, "Let's
Yeah.
go." So that was really not maybe the most financially sound decision, but damn, I had a good
You had
time.
a
And
good
I,
time. Well, you
oh, I,
still have the memories.
yeah, I mean, some of
Yeah.
them. I mean, we drank a lot back then.
I mean, I don't remember
I
everything.
don't remember all of the discotheques we went to.
I as I get older, I'm way more indexing on the experience side, but traditionally if that were my 10,000 in a week, I probably would have bought shit. Like I suddenly believe, yes, I am definitely going to wear these things or and you get home and you're like, what in the hell was I thinking?
I used to order cheap shoes when I was drinking when I was young.
God. You're lucky there we didn't have Amazon and all that shit then because we would definitely be broke.
Amazon? I don't know how I got them. Anyways, but I'd forget about them, right? I'd be like drinking wine,
It was like Christmas
relaxing.
Day.
I had some of the dopest heels. I had
Nice.
so many pairs of them. They were cheap as hell, but like I had floral ones, I had red ones, I mean I had grit, and I would forget that I'd ordered them. And
That's so great.
I'd
You'd
get
be
home
like,
from work and be
"Yay."
like, "Hi, new friends. How you
Well,
doing?"
it's okay when you live on your own. It's when you live with other people and they come in and you're like, "Oh, I definitely know what this is." Yep, for sure. It's these, oh yes, these cheetah print shoes that I ordered.
Yeah. Listen,
Okay.
being
Okay.
financially independent, I know
Yes.
we all wanted it. I know, like, growing up, I was like, "When I make my own money, I'm gonna da da
I'm
da
going to
da
do
da
whatever
da
I
da."
want.
Now, I would love for someone to come in and pay for my
Please
shit.
take
Like,
care of this
please,
shit.
someone,
Yes.
someone.
Do you know what else? The adulting thing that I thought was going to be epic, grocery shopping. And now I am so fucking over groceries. Can we, somebody else just, when people are like, if you could have a personal chef or a home shopper or a what would you choose? Do somebody to do all my groceries and meal planning? Because I am over it. That's what I want. I'm so tired of it. Remember, you thought all you would do is buy
There's
cereal and ice cream? What tip? Are you giving me a life hack?
Yeah, there's an app for that, Kelly.
Meal planning and shopping? Chat GPT? Is it Chat
No.
GPT?
Many, many retailers have recipes and meal plannings within their online shopping apps where you can just drive up to the grocery store and pick your shit up. You don't even have to get out of your car.
But you do have to go into your like fridge and cupboards first to see what you already have to X out so you don't end up with 17 bottles of paprika, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's not
but
perfect. It's not perfect. Okay,
it's
I'll
not,
give
it's,
you that.
but I'm with you. Listen, I love to cook, but I love to cook when, first of all, my kids, their palates suck, right? I mean, Colton Colton won't even eat spaghetti because too many things are touching. So I have to I know it's
But
a
the
thing.
noodles are touching? I don't understand.
The noodles touching are fine, but the sauce and the meat being mixed in, the kid will not eat that and he won't eat any casseroles, right?
So do you need to put the sauce in a section and then the meat in a section and the noodles, or he doesn't, he just wants the plain noodles?
He wants the noodles and the meat,
Okay, but not the red sauce.
but not the sauce. And he wants them anyways. So I can't even do like an easy spaghetti, right? Colton has to have his meat, his vegetable, and his carbs separate.
Well,
So
Colton is a teen farmer. He just wants
he's
to
a
old
he's a
school his
he's
dinner.
a good old Kansas boy. But hey,
Good for him.
he eats cherry tomatoes like they're candy. Like he will literally take a whole
Okay.
thing of them, rinse them out, and like sit in front of the TV and just pop these cherry tomatoes. So he's a
But
healthy,
don't turn it into a sauce because fuck
but
that.
please don't turn it in. He just I think he wants to know, like, what am I eating here? This looks
Okay.
sus.
Okay.
That's his favorite word right now is sus, and I'm
That's,
like
oh, love.
suspect,
Yeah. Oh,
sus.
I know. I know what's
I
sus.
did I didn't
Oh my
know.
God.
I didn't know if that got to our
It
Canadian
did.
American friends yet.
It definitely did.
Anyways, going back. So I love to cook, but I like to cook for like grown ass people with
Yes.
a bottle of wine, take my time. The constant daily of what am I going to feed my kids today?
All the choices. Ugh.
But I try to like switch it up, right? And
Yeah.
every time I do, I end up wasting food and feeding them chicken fucking nuggets.
Or you buy all this stuff and then you like put it in the fridge and you're like, see you in 2 weeks when I know I'm gonna throw you in the fucking garbage because we're never gonna touch it.
But I'm still going to buy lettuce.
I'm still buying the iceberg lettuce because for some reason I feel like a good parent when it's staring me in the face through the crisper door saying, take me out and use me before I turn into a brown puddle. Did you gag in your mouth?
Kelly, I can't handle produce that's gone bad. I actually cannot handle spoiled food of the things we cannot talk about, right? Poop jokes. I don't want to hear the word moist. And like when you just said that, I literally almost threw up.
I
Like,
did not expect that.
oh,
You're like,
like
"Bruh,
rotten food.
cucumbers gone back. Brr."
Stop. Please stop. You will make me vomit. And you know what? My son peed the bed last night. I've got enough shit to clean up when I'm done with with
You're
today.
you're still in that adulting phase with your children at the age that they are. The other responsibility, the scheduling and the appointments. It's just you can't even go to bed because I gotta line up 14 fucking things like a executive admin would quit if they had to organize that many things.
I mean, for reals. And also, like, their bedtime, when choosing your own bedtime, deciding when you go to sleep, like, those are things you want to do as an adult. My problem now is I'm like, So Colton goes to bed at 8:30.
Yeah.
You can count on that kid to be asleep at 8:35. Like
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like, "Hey mom, I'm tired."
Goodbye. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Wesley has suddenly gone from 8:30 to 9:30 and I'm like, "Let's go to bed because I want to go to bed."
Boy,
So I
and
have
she's not old
literally
enough yet for you to do
she's
that.
I
Leave her
don't
up.
trust her
Yeah.
to like stop watching Dance Moms, stay out
Yeah.
of the ice cream, and go upstairs, brush your teeth, and go to bed. So sometimes with Presley, I'm just like, I'm tired. Mommy's tired, and like maybe I don't go to bed. I just crawl into bed and watch a movie or something. But like I want to be done
Doing
adulting
the
and
doing the
parenting.
day. Yeah,
I
exactly.
want this day to go from me having to do shit for every single body else. Did I
Yeah.
even make is that I don't know if that was whatever.
Sure, who cares?
Who cares? But I want to like go do what I want to do. I want to mindlessly scroll. I also am addicted to this stupid puzzle game on my phone. By the way, fun fact, do you know the highest propensity of gamers in what that segment looks like?
Is it us
It's it is women. It is
who
not
just want a mental holiday from
so
the
well
groaning up
yeah,
stuff?
I mean, it's not the, we're not playing freaking Fortnite or what are the first person shooter games, but we're playing
Yeah,
little puzzle games because
yeah.
we just
We're
need because
something
there's
to distract us or keep
well
our brains active so we
well,
don't get
actually,
Alzheimer's.
so it's when you complete a level, your brain releases oxytocin because you've accomplished something.
Is it oxytocin or dopamine? One of the two. Might be dopamine. That's your like, woohoo! That's that one.
Oxytocin's pretty good too.
Well, oxytocin is also like, I love you. It's what keeps us from killing everybody on the daily. But
Sorry.
that
Okay.
that
Well,
also might be the
listen.
one. It's probably like, you know
I don't
what?
care.
Give this mom a little bit of a thumbs up because she's gonna murder somebody in a
But
second.
that's why gaming is so addictive because
Oh,
it
I bet.
feels like accomplishing something.
I bet. I
And
bet.
when you beat a level, like, I don't know if you game at all. I used to when I was little, like, I loved Legend of Zelda and all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm.
Now I just play Mario Karts and Mario Wonder with Colton, which is
Also fun. I loved the Wii because then it was like, I'm gonna play tennis and get a workout in and kill my children in this game because I'm awesome. Yeah, it was a
do they still make
two-win.
Wiis? Maybe I should get one of those.
I don't know, but they were so fun. So, well, maybe they don't because now they have the VR things, and I do love watching those videos of people doing the VR with the goggles and the hand things, and then they jump off whatever in the game that they're on, but they land on the fucking TV in the living room because they have. Anyways, you should look at it.
I
I'm like,
cannot
I definitely can't play that
yeah,
game.
no, I can't play that. I don't have the space for that. I would have to like yeah, no, no. That's I would hurt myself. I would end
Yeah,
up with like a sprained ankle or
I
broken
would
arm or
twist an
some
ankle
bullshit.
or
Yeah, yeah.
have my fourth knee surgery for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do agree though on the adulting thing, the topic of bedtimes, because I think as a kid you were like, I'm gonna stay up as late as I want. No one can tell me when to go to bed. And then you get to be an adult and you're like, can I fucking go to sleep at 7:30? I'm done with this day. Stay up past midnight. No, thank you. What is
Yeah,
it?
no.
New Year's Eve? I can barely wait for the ball to drop. I can't make it, please.
New Year's Eve is amateur night anyways. Like even when I was younger, I was like, it's amateur night.
Okay, if you stayed up till the dawn, I think we've all done it. You probably did it on that Italy trip. If you stayed up till
I've stayed up
dawn
till dawn many,
many a
many,
time.
many a times in my 20s and
Okay.
early 30s.
If you did it now, how many days to recover from that? Never. I'd be 58 before I recovered.
Well, sometimes, Kelly, I can't sleep. And so you've had those nights, right?
Oh, every
Speaking
night.
of all the adulting, right? When you wake up after only being asleep for an hour and your mind's like, hey, did you take care of this? Did you do this?
Yes,
Did you
I've
do
got a
that?
few thoughts.
I've got
That
some
is the
thoughts,
worst.
Christy, that we have to. So my new stay up till dawn really sucks. The old one used to be fun.
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
one, this
The
one
new stay
sucks.
up till dawn is I went to bed at 10 like an adult and I was like, "Yes, I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. This is going to be amazing." You wake up at 10:45 and you're like, "Now I'm fucked because I basically just had a really good nap and I am not going to be able to go back to sleep. So I'll see you at 4 a.m. because I'll still be here awake."
3 a.m. is my witching hour.
See, they say that that's related to high cortisol.
Well, I don't know why I would be stressed out, Kelly.
I don't
I
know
have
why you would
no
be
stress in
stressed.
my life at all.
I think you should work on that.
Quick question. How do you fix cortisol? Like, is
I
there,
I think you
can I take something for this? I
yeah.
don't like.
I mean, they say you should go out in nature and you should relax and all those things. But I think for me, the things that are stressing me out can't be taken away, right? Like those things are still present and they're still going to be in my mind. I'll give you a little coping mechanism. It's not a fix. But when I wake up in the middle of the night, which is every fucking night, I'm like a ticker tape of news is going through my brain. Have you thought of this? And what about this? And da 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 da.
Oh, and here's a
So,
great idea, and maybe you
yes.
should.
Yes, and I read something in whether it's the amygdala or whatever part of your brain it is that's super active and the other parts of your brain aren't awake to distract it. What I do is I wake up and I say, "Okay, I'm going to give myself a word and then I am going to have to find 5 items that start with every letter that is in that word." So I will wake up, I know, I will wake up and then I will say, okay, the word is pirate. And I'm laying there and I'm like, okay, P, pineapple, puppy dogs. Like I have to think of 5 things before I can move on to I. And invariably, my mind, because you're making that part of your brain think hard to come up with those words, and it's harder than you think because you're more asleep than you realize. And I will fall back to sleep.
No, this sounds difficult because I can't spell. So even, I mean,
I'm trying
I
to offer you solutions.
and I'm like, great, my cortisol just shut up because now I'm
It
gonna lay
doesn't
in bed
matter.
and judge myself, be like,
No.
pirate, pirate.
Shit. Then you're gonna get your phone out. Hey Siri, spell pirate. The Siri's spelling pirate on my lap right now. But she's like, you're a fucking idiot. And then the backlight of your phone is going to wake you up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, 3 a.m. my favorite time.
Okay, we gotta
Listen,
work on that.
if you ever need something done, you just send it to me about 3 a.m. my time, or like put an email. So what I'll do is I'll lay there for a solid 15 and be like, go
Hmm.
back to sleep, probably stressing myself out more.
Yes, yes.
Then I tried the meditation route, which meditation is maybe one of the hardest. I mean, I could like it's easier for me to probably go train for a marathon
And then
than
focus
to
on nothing.
than to focus on nothing. I'm like, why would anyone want to do this? This is really hard.
Yeah.
Anywho, whatever. So sleep.
Okay.
Sleep,
Well,
something that I used to be able to do really well when I was young, and in adulting, you have to sleep at certain times, and then you get past your 30s and you fucking can't. So
yeah,
that's fun.
exactly.
That's
You're
fun.
like,
That's
I
fun.
wish that I could go to, I wish I had an 8 p.m. bedtime and someone was dragging my ass out of bed at 7 a.m. That is my one wish. Well, maybe you accused me of starting with the negative at the start of this podcast episode. So maybe as we're going through all these adulting things that we thought would be great and actually suck, we should flip the script and go somewhere positive. Like, what are some of the perks of being an adult that you didn't expect would be perks? You know, I'm like, is there an adult privilege?
I'm drawing a big fat blank. I was like, vacations, family vacations. Nope, that's not a fucking vacation. That is a lot of work.
Okay,
And
maybe buying things without permission. That'd be one. Don't have to ask
then you
anybody's
still have to pay
permission.
for them.
I know. Well,
Apparently,
okay,
you've gotten me very, very negative. What is the one thing about being an adult?
you could have cheesecake for breakfast. Nobody's going to tell you you can't.
I don't like breakfast foods. So like, I'll eat
I am
spaghetti for
really
breakfast.
trying to pull you out of this. Okay.
Kelly, listen, being an adult sucks. I hate every second of it. No, I don't. Fun?
Ish. I mean, in order of priorities, I would probably choose toddlerhood first.
Well, I don't know about your childhood, but I can't choose my childhood. That's the hard thing. Like, I'm like, would I go be a child again? It's like not how I
Not
grew
what
up.
I,
Absolutely
not the
fucking
way
not.
I did
Being
it.
an adult and all my issues right now are so much better than they were when I was little, which is very sad, but it's fine. It is what it is. Okay, like positive adulting, positive adulting. Oh, you get to pick your friends. You don't get stuck.
Yes.
Well, so you do because you're in corporate America. You get stuck with
Yes,
people
I
that you don't like. I don't get stuck with people I don't like. If I don't like you, that sounds terrible. I'm not a mean person, but like if I don't enjoy working with you, I'm like done. Like
yeah.
I'm like
And it,
cool. Let's replace
yeah.
that piece of business. Stat.
And I think even if you are in corporate America, you can choose, you can't choose who you work with, but you can choose how much time you spend with them or the way that you spend the time with them. So I do agree with you there. I think also a as an adult, you get to say no. right? Like, hey, we're going to do this thing and this thing. Come on. No, I'm good. No, like tonight, I don't want to do anything. I'll be home. Thanks, but no. When you're a teenager or you're a kid and your parents are doing stuff, you're dragged. As an adult, you're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that this year. Thank you.
Okay, you've drugged me out of the negative silliness.
Yay.
I'm back. Happy
Okay.
Christy is back. You know what I love about being an adult, and maybe because I had kids later, I truly enjoy the moments.
Yes,
Like, yes, it's stressful. Yes, sometimes it sucks, but like I find myself really being able to be in the moment.
I love
You
that.
know, when I travel for work, of course I miss my kids. It's hard to say goodbye. I mean, I'll see you later or whatever.
Yeah.
Goodbye sounds so final. But
Goodbye for now.
goodbye for now. It's hard to do that, but like, you know, I don't when I'm traveling, do I miss my kids? Sure, but I don't let myself focus on that. And so I think the ability to control your own mind and choose your thoughts has been, and that's been a journey for me. It did not come easy, but over the past, especially the past 5 years, I think I've really just gotten to a point where not much rattles me. Even when I'm traveling, I'm like, something's going to go wrong. And
Mhm.
that's okay. Because guess
Mhm.
what? How
I'm
boring
going
would
to
it be? How
Yeah, and
boring
I'm
would it be if you could predict everything?
yeah.
And I find humor when things go wrong. That's my coping mechanism. And I'm whatever I'm doing and wherever I am, I'm very present in that moment. Now at work, I multitask like crazy. And I'm sure, my partners are like, Christy, I'm shiny. Please focus on me for 10 minutes. If I can have 10 minutes of your undivided attention, which PS
Yeah.
does not exist. I do not have 10
I
minutes of
was like,
undivided
that
attention with
doesn't
work.
work.
But no, so that part, I love being able to choose who I'm around and choose where I spend my time and choose my thoughts and
Yeah.
choose to be positive. I love that.
Yeah, I
There you
think
go,
you're
Kelly.
there you go. I love whew, thank God we got there. I do love that.
Shit.
I think it comes with adulthood, but I mean not maybe 20-year-old adulthood, like definitely when you get a little older, you're kind of like, "Hey, I can find joy in these things," or I've had whatever that experience was before and I made it through so I can figure this out, right? So you get to be a little bit less anxious about the what ifs and you're like whatever it is, I'm going to handle it. And you find the silliest little moments of joy. Yesterday, as an example, I went and did this aerial yoga class because I am nothing if
I
not
saw that. Like, kudos to you, sis. That shit ain't ever happening for me. But
like
continue with your aerial yoga story.
if you think of who would be a nimble ballerina, you think Kelly for sure. I thought I'm going to try this class.
Hang on. Okay. Okay,
I
continue.
mean, all nimble ballerinas have torn 3 ACLs when you only have 2 knees.
And our
However,
6 foot. And our
so
6 foot.
vertically unstable. You know what I am though? Very horizontally challenged as well because this thing was a lot of lying in a hammock and I was like, "Okay, it was incredibly fun, but I think it just open I am old enough that I don't give a shit, right? I'm doing this thing that I know I'm not going to be super awesome at, but I'm going to enjoy it, so I don't give a shit. It was very fortunate there were only a couple of us in the class, so we got undivided attention from the teacher. And so she was able to push us to do these like things where I'm like, this is the part where I fall out of these silks and I land and I break all my chiclets again and we'll be back here on this podcast with fake teeth, but that never happened. And I love the snort that just happened.
Listen,
I
I did it twice. Okay, 2 times.
What I loved in that moment though is because I was in this like I don't give a shit, I'm having fun, pasted smile on my face that I couldn't get rid of. The rest of say the next talk about dopamine hour or 2 hours, every song that came on the radio was awesome. The sun was extra shiny. Like I just found so much joy in the afternoon because I did this stupid thing. And when you get to an age where you're just like, I'm open to doing some crazy shit, it is like, all right, nobody's going to make me do it and nobody can tell me no.
The other I love that. And it wasn't stupid. It was incredibly brave on multiple levels, but the give a shit part of being an adult where you hit this point, and for me, it wasn't till I was about 37ish, which is I hope other people, to anyone listening that's younger than that, please figure this out sooner, where I just like was like, I'm the one who has to live my life. And I stopped caring about what people thought of me, especially complete strangers, right? So I treat people well. I look you in the eyes, I say hello. When I'm checking out at the grocery store, I'm like, "Hi, Tom, how's your day?" Right?
You're a
But
good
when it
human.
Well, it's debatable. But the idea of like people around me judging what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, what I look like I just don't care. I'm just like I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yep.
If you think the fact that I wear platform Jordans that are silver and black is weird because I'm a 45-year-old woman, I don't care.
Yeah.
You think,
Okay.
oh, my kid freaked out in front of you and you think I'm a terrible mom? Cool. I don't care. Right? Like just kind
Yeah, if we could do anything and go back to any time frame, I would go back to my teenage self with that. I would take that part of me back to her and be like, "Okay, girl, it doesn't matter. You don't care. Do these things." I saw a post yesterday. There's a Canadian girl out of Guelph, Ontario. Her Instagram handle is the Birds Papaya. She's awesome. And she had a post and it just caught me off guard because I didn't expect it. She was staying at some friend's house in Toronto and they left a picture of her from when she was a younger girl on the side table of the room that she was staying in when she stayed with them as a sweet gesture. And so she had a picture of herself and she was reflecting on all of the amazing things that she has done. She is a poster model for positivity and she has walked the catwalk at Sports Illustrated stuff. And she is not a traditional like bikini body, but she's done all these amazing things. And so she was saying, take a picture of yourself from when you were young, put it out, look at her, make her proud. And I was like, whoo, I even DM'd her. I was like, thank you. She caught me off guard. Peeing on the toilet is where you read your Instagram.
Oh my God, Kelly.
And I was just
You
like, thank
just
you.
took a beautiful moment and like
It's my,
tanked it.
listen,
You
that's my
took a
superpower.
beautiful
And you
moment and
shat on it.
You flushed it down the toilet is what you just did.
This is my
Okay,
superpower. Take a
Kelly,
sweet moment and shit on it.
this magic moment that I was watching while I was peeing. So actually, I think we should do something.
Okay,
I
what?
think that we should in our social channels, let's have a I don't know, like I want to hear what anyone who's listening to this or following us or whatever fuckery, anyone who sees us on any social channel, what their experiences in adulting, like what did they not expect? Like
Yes.
what was the vision versus the reality? I think that would be a
Yes.
lot of fun. I would
That
love to
would
read
be.
that.
I
Can we
would
do that?
love.
Can
We
we do that,
can.
Kelly?
We can put a
Okay.
poll. The "we" is me. I'll
Yeah.
put a
Yeah.
poll. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is the
I'll
Kelly
remember it.
thing.
This is a reminder to me when I edit this episode to go back and do this. But yeah, I would love to hear what was the thing that you looked most forward to as a child in being an adult, and then you got there and you were like, "This is some bullshit."
Give it back.
Yeah, take it. I don't want
On
it.
that
No,
note,
thank
my
you.
friend, I have adulting to do because I have a meeting.
Okay, boo.
I'm
Well,
sorry. I have to go.
that's
But
okay. Listen, you keep it vertically unstable and horizontally comfortable. That's your goal for
when
today. How about that?
okay, when you said horizontally unstable, I was like, Kelly, that brings up a very
I know
different
that's a
vision.
different
That's a
podcast
whole
entirely.
different podcast and different people. Anyways,
Horizontally comfortable is the aim for today, which just means make it through today, get to bed at a good time, get some get some sleep.
stay
Hopefully
safe
that
out
way.
there, kids.
Stay
Like,
safe out
follow,
there.
share. Lots
All
of
the
love.
things. Thank you for listening.
I
Love you.
love you
Bye.
too. Bye.